Hi, I'm Sally and this is the tutorial for my spider charm. You will need a lot of black bands for this one, unless you're doing it a different colour, and that's all the bands you will need. So let's make a start. Taking your loom in a staggered configuration with the arrows pointing towards you. We will need to make the legs first. So we're going to take a single black band, or unless you're using a different colour, stretch it out, cross it over and wrap it back around your fingers so it's doubled. Go down 5 times. Okay? So this would be a good design to do for Halloween as well, I think. So 5. Same again, so leave a gap. All the legs are exactly the same. So, and unlike previous designs, I haven't made any in advance, so I'm doing this with you. So I'm going to cap off these 2. So I'm going to take a band, again I'm going to double it, and I'm going to place it around the last pin of the chain, and then I'm going to double it back on itself again and wrap it around. Okay. So, single band, doubled, place it around the last pin where you would put your cap band normally, so it's the one that's closest to you, twist it and wrap it back around. I'm going to make the first 6 legs before I start to loop. You can loop in between if you wish, whichever way you'd rather do it, but I'm going to make the 6 first. And 5. And cap band. And back around. And using the doubled bands just gives you a thinner leg, so it's less bulky. That's 3, 4, and 5. Gonna cap it off. And I'm gonna start down this side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It's a little bit tedious after a while doing the same thing over and over again, but these spiders will have 8 legs, so there we go. Oh, fiddlesticks. There we go, got it that time. Still doubling the bands up. And I'm just capping this one off. And now I'm out of room. So I've got the first 6 here. I'm going to loop them all up. So I'm going inside the cap band, pushing it back, getting the bottom 2 bands, the bottom band that's doubled, looping it forwards. and then just looping up. The bands are there's quite a lot of tension in the bands, they're quite tight because they're doubled. Okay, so again, inside the cap band, bottom 2, just looping forwards. And we just keep going. Oh no! Right, if this does happen to you, I'll release this just to show you, which is harder, I must say, on a double band, but not impossible. So if your band does ping and it isn't looped through, and you've got a little gap, just take your hook in through the pin before where it's got to loop through, and just catch it on your hook. Like so. So I've got the loose one here, and the other one's just pinged off of the pin. And then you can just bring it back through the pin, and then loop it as you normally would. It's better if they don't do that, but if they do, it's not the end of the world. Okay, and looping forwards again. And back down here in the cap band. Continue to loop. There we go, found it. Once you've done the legs, it's pretty easy and pretty quick. It's just the legs that take the time, really. Okay, so once all of these legs are looped up, we can remove them. So I'm going to take them off, and I'm just going to pop them down the bottom of my loom. You just fit them onto the bottom pins, they won't be in the way. So I'm just stretching them out and placing them over. To make the last two, you'll only need one row here, so you can put them onto the other two. So there we have 6 little spider legs. It's going to make the other two in the exact same way, so doubling your bands and going down 5 times. Oh dear, pinged on my finger. So I've done 5, so I'm going to cap it off. Again, doubling the band, placing it over, twisting it and wrapping it back round, and making the very last leg. So 2. And 5, and tapping them off, so doubled, and just twisting it round. So that's the last 2 made. I'm just going to loop them up now, so it's exactly the same as the other 6. think I've only got one part. Yeah, I've only got one part of the band there, so just make sure you have got both. If you do only hook one, then just loop that and then go back and find the other one. As long as they'll get looped in the end. So again, I'm going to remove these, place them down the bottom. Just uncross any bands that have got crossed over. Right, so once you have your 8 spider's legs, we can make the body. So we're using black bands again, so just take 2 black bands and just place them over this top pin here. This is all with 2 bands together. So we're going diagonally and diagonally again across the top pins, like so. We're going to make a diamond shape. So again, diagonally but turning inwards. So you have a diamond. And then we're taking 2 bands again. We're going to go quite steep with our diagonal on the body. So we're going from this pin here, on the centre one of the diamond here, we're going diagonally out to this pin here. So it's like this. So instead of just going diagonally, like you would normally, would be to this pin, you're going to the pin underneath. Doing the same the other side. And then we're going down once on each side. So just straight once. And then we're going to go down the centre. So we're going all the way down, and we're going down 1, 2, 3, 4 times in the middle. And then again, we're going to go like we did here, the sort of steeper diagonal. We're going to do the same here. So still 2 bands. And we're just pinning them like so. Like this. I'm going to place a cap band on here. So push your bands down. And we're just going to wrap a single band around here 3 times. Okay, so in case you weren't sure, it's this pin in the centre just here, so the one right at the bottom. Then we can add on our spider's legs, and we're going to add on 2 onto these 4 pins on the outside. So taking your hook, remove 1 from your loom, and you're just going to stretch it out and place it over the pin like that, and just angle it forward. So I'm going to have one going this way and one going this way on each one. Okay, taking the next leg, placing it on top, stretch it over the pin, angle them however you want them, and you're just going to repeat this till all 8 legs are on. And onto my last 2. My loom slid and you couldn't see what I was doing. So there we have our spider. like so. We just need to add on some triangle bands, and these will just hold the whole design together instead of having the rows separating. So we're going to have one coming across, so it's covering the back set of legs onto here, and we're going to make this a diamond by just pulling it over, so it's going like this, and then placing a triangle band directly above that. So you've got your one band that's a diamond around these pins, and the other one that's a triangle. We're going to loop up, so going in through this cap band at the back here. Oh, you're just getting the bottom two bands and looping them back onto themselves. Same again. Sorry, the top two bands. It's the top two bands, not the bottom two bands. Top two bands and then the bottom bands. So on the cap band it's the top two bands. On everything else it'll be the bottom two. Okay, and then you're going in through all of these legs here, getting the bottom two bands, looping forwards, and then again getting the bottom two bands, and if I don't tilt it I can't see what I'm doing. And big stretch, I'm going to go up the centre, so going in, and my guinea pig's having a drink and being very noisy indeed. Okay, and again we're going in through the leg, getting the bottom two bands, looping carefully forward so as not to snap any of them, and in again, bottom two, looping forwards. There's a lot of tension in that band, so I'm just going to try and relieve some of the tension. I don't think I'm going to be able to because it's such a big stretch. Okay, and then we're going in through this band here, and again you're finding the top two bands, which I believe are those two, except I've got three, so I'm going to go again, find the top two. Oh, come on, I will get there. Just perseverance. There we go. In case you're wondering why I keep doing this, this is just a way of loosening the bands and relieving some of the tension. So if I feel that my bands are a little bit tight, I will just loosen them to try and stop them snapping. And loop forwards. So you've looped from this pin out to here, and then each of these you've looped back into the centre. We can tie it off now. So taking these two bands that we put on in the first instance and placing your hook down into this top centre pin, bringing it round and placing the two bands on there like that, and then we're just taking them over the end of our hook. So the two bands that are closest to your hand, you're looping over the end, putting it, and that'll make a slip knot. And then we can remove this from our loom and say hello to Incy Wincy. Oh dear. And here we have our spider. So just make sure that these two bands you've used to tie them off with are tight. Stretch them out if you need to. Arrange the legs. Do whatever you need to do. Just make sure you've got no legs sort of sticking up in the air. So they're all sort of spread around his body, or her body. And there we have our spider charm. So I hope you've enjoyed making him. or her. It's a great idea for Halloween, this one, I think. So please hit like and comment. Let me know what you think of this tutorial. That's fine. And hit subscribe to be notified when I bring out new tutorials, which at the moment I'm doing every couple of days because I have lots of designs I want to share with you. I'm also on Instagram and on Twitter at Sally's Looming. And my guinea pig would be so much more useful if he was just not drinking around about now. But anyway, we'll carry on. And you can make requests, comment, you can share pictures of your finished designs, which is always lovely to see. And I'm also on Facebook. If you search Sally's Looming, all one word, you'll find my group on there where you can do the same and request and comment and share pictures. And that's that. So I hope you've enjoyed making your spider. And it's not too scary. I have to say my daughter did find him quite scary. But maybe that's just her. She's quite young. But anyway, moving on. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.